financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is keeping your money safe from your creditors. Brian Small, good morning.
Good morning, Ken. A pleasure to be here this morning.
You're going to be on the spot this morning.
Oh, goodness me. It's a little early, so.
And you're looking very dapper, so you should be able to do a good job, I'm hoping.
I would hope that my tie and shirt has very little to do with the advice that I'm going to give, but thank you for the dapper comment.
Jeffrey Linden.
Good morning, Ken.
Now, if I don't say you're looking dapper, you're gonna feel left out
My
and
constitution's
depressed.
strong enough. I can get through it. It's okay.
Jim Simasko, it's been a long time to have you since we've had you on the show.
It's great to be back, and good morning.
So this is Jim. This is not Pat. Jim and Pat are brothers. They've
That's
been
right.
practicing together for how many years?
Over 30.
Over 30. That's, side note, brothers have, think about families. Brothers always love each other and get along, and typically also quarrel with each other as siblings. Has that ever been an issue in the practice?
Not really. Every now and then we have to have a blowout just to
Yeah.
clear the air, but that's more brotherly stuff, not legal, the legal
that's
side.
pretty good. Because as long as I've known you guys, it's always been
we're very tight.
Tight-knit. Okay, today's topic. All right, keeping your money safe from creditors. This topic evolved from a topic we talked about a couple weeks back, and we were looking at money issues, and mother and father had money, but son was in financial trouble, and we were evolving and trying to decide what to do with it. And we decided, let's do a show just specifically on the situation where there's money and there's a creditor problem, and it's not the type of case that you can protect the client with a bankruptcy because there's too much money involved. So that's the context that I want to look at this. So we'll use a case study. William and Shirley. Those are our clients. We'll see how long I can keep the names straight. Probably it'll last somewhere between 30 and 40 seconds. William is 66. Shirley is 62. They have a home with $350,000 of equity. It's owned together by them as husband and wife, which is called a tenancy by the entireties. They have savings, what I'm going to call it non-qualified, which means it's not in a retirement account, of $400,000. They also have an IRA of $400,000. So Bill's company, Bill is William, is called Specialty Technical Configurations, Inc. This is a made-up company established in 1985. And Bill retired from the day-to-day operations in 2015. Bill's son, Don, took over the operation.
It's pretty normal, right? I mean, father passes on the business to the son, except in this case, we got issues, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it was starting out with the right thing, and the company was doing well. It caters to police departments. It provides computer components to retrofit the police vehicles. The company ran into financial problems the last 5 years and closed the doors. Too much competition, too much technology advancement in products. They lost their market, basically. Closing down, there's payroll taxes unpaid. Don didn't make sure that the payroll taxes were being paid. The feds are owed $110,000. The state's owed $40,000. Next problem is big bank. I didn't say big bad bank. I didn't say Bank of Un-America. I just went with
Whoever
big.
uses the concept Bank of Un-America, I've never heard of that before.
Right. I just used big bank. They're owed $200,000. Both Bill and Don personally guaranteed that bank loan. So big bank, naturally, is suing Bill and Don for $200,000. So I want to deal with Bill, and then I want to deal with Don. Bill's problem is a big problem. for the simple reason that Bill has money. He's got equity in the home of $350,000, $400,000 in savings, non-qualified money. He's got an IRA of $400,000. Does Bill have a problem, Brian?
Well, yeah, Bill does have.
I mean, we all agree Bill has a problem. Does he have a solvable problem?
He does. He has not a completely solvable problem. I mean, a complete solution in this case would be, could we file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy for Bill, wipe out the debt, and let him keep his assets? And, you know, there's a part of it that says yes, but the $400,000 equity in the bank,
$400,000
I mean, the $400,000 bank account
in the house
keeps him from filing a bankruptcy. The $350,000 equity in the home, owned tenancy by the entireties, doesn't necessarily keep him from filing a bankruptcy.
So his big problem is the $400,000.
It's the $400,000.
All right, let me do a quick little side issue. Bill is 66. He hasn't been, as of now, collecting Social Security, but he's going to have no income coming. He's got no income anyway. He's retired from the business. Should he start? He's been waiting to 70 to collect unemployment, because not unemployment, Social Security, because Pat, Jim, you guys have always said you get an automatic 7% return by deferring to collect until age 70. So should he start collecting now is the question.
Absolutely, provided that he has a long life expectancy. If he's someone that has does not have longevity in his family and he's going to die at 66 or 67, you're better off to collect early. But absolutely, he should not collect. He should wait till 70. If he dies, his wife could collect from his if he's the higher wage earner. And additionally, he could start spending down the money in the bank first for his day-to-day expenses. The Social Security is protected. The 401k is protected.
Yeah. Here's where he gets into a conflict. I don't know if you're seeing the same thing, is because Brian's going to say in 2 minutes, we want to start spending down half of that $400,000 as quickly as possible to get rid of that money, because that money is not protected from big bank. But the IRA money is protected if it stays in the IRA. But he has a different problem. He also he has to have money to live on. But I guess he could use the 400. So how do you square that issue?
I'll let you know after the break.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV Gross today, 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
You're all set to retire. You have your home paid off, money in the bank, and sound investments. But if you're not careful, all the things that you work so hard for can disappear. At Samasco Financial, we'll help you prevent that. We go beyond ordinary asset management. We'll safeguard everything that you have by creating a plan made specifically for you. How much can you afford to lose? Nothing. Protect the people that you love and the things that you have. Call Samasco Financial today.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Okay, we're back. So, what are we going to do?
Well, we're going to do a lot of things. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take that $400,000 that's in Bill and Shirley's joint account, and we're going to split it in half. And we're going to put money specifically into, half of it into Shirley's name, and we can address how we deal with that money through Shirley's trust later. And we're going to put half into Bill's LLC.
All right, so when you put the money in Shirley's name, is Shirley's money then protected?
Yes, because
she doesn't owe Big Bank any money.
Listen, this is a joint bank account, and her half is, she's removing her half. He's removing his half, and we're going to put his money out of reach of Big Bank.
Stop. I want to just tell you what Big Bank wants you to do. And Big
Pay
Bank
them.
says, give Shirley her $200,000, and Big Bank should give Big Bank the $200,000 because you borrowed the money and you guaranteed the loan. And you owe us $200,000.
So sad, that's not what we're doing.
It's the ethical thing to do.
Okay, but
You borrowed the money.
Bill and Shirley only have so much money left to live on,
Okay,
and they
your
have to
bill,
last.
Your bill for a second.
Yep.
Did you borrow the money?
Yes.
Did you promise me you would pay it back?
Yes.
Okay. So you owe you
Circumstances
agree
changed.
you owe me the $200,000.
100% it's owed.
And you're saying it's you
and I'm not paying it back.
you think that's ethical?
Yep, because protect
You think
family
it's
first.
moral?
Yes, protect family first.
Okay. Do you think it's ethical and moral?
It's what you have to do.
Your thoughts?
You have to protect the family first, and the bank factors that in. The bank intends that some of these loans are going to be bad. This just happens to be one of them. That's
Crew?
why they charge so
What
much.
does the crew think?
So much interest.
Family first.
Family first? Everybody thinks family first. So the only person that thinks that Big Bank should be paid back
Is Big Bank.
Big Bank.
Yeah.
And Big Bank's loan officer who has to report to his boss who's saying, you better collect that money. It's a rough situation. Okay, so
Well,
we've
if
covered.
you want to make the bank feel better, you can agree that, yeah, you should be paid back, but I'm not going
I
to.
actually like Jim's point. When banks loan money, it's a product. You're selling a product, and the selling of the product is the loaning of the money, and you always have the risk of not getting paid. Whatever business you're in, you know sometimes you're going to get paid, occasionally you don't get paid, and you factor that in to your cost of doing business. So banks are in business with the knowledge that they will take losses. It's not like you're punishing them.
Right. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to protect the family. And so Shirley's money's in her bank account, and we can make sure, like I said, it's taken care of through a proper trust. And
it's protected. So
it
what
is
do we do with
protected.
Bill's money?
Bill's money, we're going to put it into an LLC, a single member LLC.
Why? What good
Because
does that do you?
It
So the bank sues Bill. The bank gets a judgment against Bill for
Correct.
$200,000.
Right.
Okay. So doesn't it get to take the LLC money?
No, it doesn't. It can't garnish the LLC. It can only garnish distributions from the LLC.
Oh, okay. So if Bill wants to get any of the money out, it takes that money?
No, that isn't what happens. Bill is going to, we'll utilize a series of LLCs possibly if necessary, management companies and otherwise, and Bill will remove the money or pay his personal bills directly from the LLC.
All right. So the key is Bill doesn't take a regular distribution. So if he doesn't take a regular distribution, if the big bank serves a garnishment and says we're garnishing distributions, there's no distribution being made.
Right. And isn't that beautiful? It's
So
a wall.
Bill pays the property taxes on his house and writes the check from the LLC. Isn't that a distribution?
Okay, maybe, but how's the bank going to get to it? They're going to go garnish the The taxing authority?
You can't take it from the taxing authority.
So it's gone. There's so much of a wall, and you got to remember something about creditors' attorneys. Even with this amount of money at stake, they're getting paid in such a way that they don't want to spend a lot of money chasing after money that's really hard to get. They're going to go try and get to the money that's easy to get.
If he starts taking his Social Security, can they garnish his Social Security?
So Social Security is never garnishable, not at the source and not in the bank, as long as it's segregated in an account totally and only containing that individual Social Security money.
So what do you do? What does he do if he starts drawing his Social Security? He puts that in the LLC or no?
No, he doesn't need to. He can put it in a personal checking account, only in his name only that money.
Okay. All right, so what does he use to spend what does he spend, what money does he spend for living expenses?
The $200,000 in the LLC.
Drains that down.
Absolutely.
Lets his Social Security money grow protected in the account.
100% correct.
Keeps his IRA intact.
Because that can never be touched.
Away from big banks. So in this case, this would be one of the situations where we don't take that IRA money.
And the house.
Although he's going to have to take minimum distributions when he gets to 70 and a half, or what's it now, 71? 72.
And the house is generally protected also from his creditors.
What about a lien against the house?
So the bank is going to assert a lien on the house when they take a judgment against him. And Bill and Shirley own the house, tenancy by the entireties. So long as Shirley outlives Bill, then Shirley will inherit the house upon Bill's death, and the lien that they put on the house will not follow.
Bill dies first.
Bill dies first, yes.
I mean, Shirley dies first.
That becomes a problem in that the lien now attaches to Bill's interest as long as the lien hasn't expired. A judgment lien in Michigan is only good for 5 years. It can be renewed for another 5 years, but it's only good for 5.
So if Shirley's only 62, Shirley's going to make it to 72, 73. We're going to be completely fine and protected on the house.
That's the hope, yes.
Okay.
And if they sell the house, they can put the proceeds into a tenancy by the entirety's bank account, and the bank still can't touch it.
So we've got a plan. So that's the plan for Bill. We come back from the break, we're going to deal with Don's problem.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
I love you too. Bye-bye. That was Jerry. Emma just said her first word.
Oh.
Jerry says hello and they'll be over soon.
Who's Jerry? Is he a friend of yours?
No. This Jerry. Our Jerry. And this is his wife and their little girl.
Time for announcements. I want to remind our viewers to listen to us for Law and Reality Live on the Praise Network, Tuesdays 10 o'clock a.m., Saturdays 7 o'clock a.m., and on KISS 105.9, 7 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. Be sure and sign up for our monthly contest. Free $100 Visa gift card, Law and Reality hat, and a copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Just go to the website, lawandreality.com, pop in your email address, and you're entered into the contest. Great opportunity. We have seminars coming up on Wednesday, February 26th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Seminar called Bye Bye Credit Card Debt, Hello Happiness. We're going to go through all the ways that we go about eliminating debt so that you can save that money for your family and for your future savings, so that when you get to retirement, you have something to retire with. Jeff Linden will do a special segment on how to resolve tax debt. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Seminars are a great opportunity to learn the process that we go through to eliminate debt. You will be surprised at how invigorating the seminar and the concept is, and the outlook will change for your future tremendously. Urge you to take advantage of the opportunity. Sign up at thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. We have a seminar coming up on Wednesday, March 18th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. on estate planning. It is called Your Will, Your Trust, and Your Powers of Attorney, The Essentials. We're going to go through all the basic estate planning rules, the changes to IRAs under the new 2019 law, protecting your assets for you and your children. Attendees get a $300 gold certificate off the cost of any estate planning service at the firm. You want to sign up at thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Remember, you can always come in to THAV Gross through Law and Reality for a free consultation. Just go to the website, request a consult on one of the boxes to click, or call the office anytime at 888-235-HELP. Debt issues with Brian, tax issues with Jeff, estate planning issues with Jeff or myself, estate planning issues with Brian or myself, business issues with me, elder law issues with Pat and Jim Samasco, disability issues with Jeff Kirshner, criminal law issues with Scott Weinberg. Just call, take advantage of the opportunity. Consults are not just meet and greets. We analyze the problem, identify what you need to do, the costs to get it accomplished, and what the steps are to take. It's a good, positive way of getting a handle on an issue. And just remember, sign up at lawandreality.com for a seminar or call 888-235-HELP. Also, take a look at our website. There's 4 great free reports. One on resolving tax problems, the real solutions, written by myself and Jeff Linden. How to save your home from foreclosure, business formations and loans and grants for small businesses in Michigan, and the Retiree's Guide for Social Security from Pat Samasco. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV Gross, Samasco Law, Jeff Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
All right, Brian, Jeff, Jim, we've solved Bill's plan. We've got the plan for Bill and Shirley. What about Don? Don is also being sued for $200,000, and what about these payroll taxes? And on top of that, there's $100,000 of credit card debt. Now, Don's single, does not own a home, has no assets, no retirement, and right now no job.
So let me deal with what I can deal with quickly with Don, so that Jeff can talk about the tax issues. Don needs to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
Will that take care of the tax issues?
No, it doesn't, but it takes care of the $200,000 that's owed to the bank. It takes care of the $100,000 worth of credit card debt. Don is a perfect candidate for a Chapter 7. Eliminate the debt, least costly, most effective method for Don.
All right, I want to go to Jeff on the taxes then, but before I do that, I'm going to say something. I've heard you say that taxes are dischargeable in bankruptcy.
Payroll taxes are not dischargeable in bankruptcy.
What's the difference between payroll taxes and income taxes?
But the payroll taxes, his liability for payroll taxes comes from what they call trust fund liability. When you withhold your employees' federal income tax and Social Security, that's a trust fund. You're holding it in trust for the benefit of the government. So the government wants that because you're holding somebody else's money for them,
right,
so they take it.
So if you're watching, payroll taxes are the money withheld in an employee's paycheck when they get their check. Federal, it's your federal withholding, plus your Social Security and your Medicare component. The amount that's coming out of your paycheck, not the amount that the employer's matching.
I will say this, to the extent that Don has income tax liability that came due more than 3 years earlier, and has been filed, the tax has been filed for at least 2 years, and he hasn't been assessed in the
He could
last
discharge that.
8 months,
Yes.
he could discharge that tax debt along with the bank debt and the credit card debt, but the payroll taxes will survive.
Okay, good. All right, back to payroll taxes. Now,
Yep.
does Bill have a problem on the payroll taxes? He owned the company. He brought Don in. Can he be held liable for those payroll taxes?
No, but there's going to have to be a discussion because they're going to look at him as an owner and they're going to ask questions. So there'll probably be an interview series to explain that Bill was out. Bill, according to these facts, is out 5 years before this payroll liability wasn't paid on the original.
Yeah, so if he's out. So
he didn't have, the issue is who has management control over the money at the time. And since Bill retired and was out of the company 5 years before the company went bust, the earliest payroll taxes after he's gone, he should be okay.
So, but by way of an example, let's say the trust fund liability can be imposed on a non-owner or an owner. The key is that if you're in control of the money,
Right.
and you're the person who's making the decision not to pay the payroll taxes, instead to pay other bills, you can be held liable. The general manager can be held liable. We've had the bookkeeper being accused of being liable, who gets paid a nominal salary, and all of a sudden they're going after her for the payroll taxes. It's the person in control. In this case, Don's the only one.
Right.
Everyone else is safe. All right, so Brian just took care of his taxes. What about, or took care of his everything but his taxes? What does he do with this $150,000 payroll tax liability? What's his solution?
Well, for Don, his solution is going to be he might qualify for an offer in compromise, which would be...
Well, wouldn't he for sure qualify for an offer in compromise? He's got no house, he's got no income, he's got no assets.
As long as he hasn't dissipated any assets in the last 3 years of any substance.
Right. They'll look back for 3 years. If he got rid of something that had value, they may disallow that and tag him with that value in terms of his, what we would call a phantom ability to pay back. Because he doesn't actually have the asset or the money, but they'll treat him as if he did.
So assuming he didn't dissipate any assets and everything is copacetic, what actor used to use that word?
Don't know.
Was that Columbo?
We'll have to figure it out the next show because we're running out of time. So let's
We've
get
got
to
a
the
little
answer.
bit more time. So here's the point for Don. Don gets rid of his credit card debt, his bank debt with a Chapter 7. He files an offer in compromise. He wipes out the payroll taxes. He's clean.
And that offer could be like $100.
Right.
It would be nominal in this case. So that's the one where when you see the commercial, the fresh start, that works perfectly. If Don had a bunch of assets, an offer in compromise wouldn't work, but Don doesn't. He's the perfect candidate. So that's going to take care of Don. Last point, Bill and Shirley should revise their estate plan so that they make sure that if they were to pass away, nothing goes to Don direct until he's cleaned up his liability problems. That's a wrap. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality. Thanks for tuning in.